Imagine a woman who walks through life without the need for validation from society. She doesn't seek attention through makeup, nor does she force herself into social gatherings just to fit in. To some, she may seem like the lesser, less engaged, less vibrant, less interested. But is she truly lesser, or is she simply more? A woman who avoids unnecessary socializing isn't cold, distant, or lacking in warmth. She is simply intentional. She understands that not every interaction deserves her energy, and that being surrounded by people doesn't necessarily mean being connected. In a world that often equates constant socialization with success, she challenges this notion by choosing quality over quantity. When she engages in conversation, it is not out of obligation but out of genuine interest. She listens, observes, and absorbs rather than just filling space with small talk. Her friendships are deep, not wide. She doesn't need dozens of acquaintances. She values the few who truly understand her. She is the type of person who would rather have a 2-hour meaningful conversation with one close friend than a night out filled with empty exchanges. People might call her reserved, but what they don't see is that her silence isn't withdrawal. She knows that her time and presence are valuable, and she shares them only with those who appreciate and respect her. This selectivity extends beyond friendships. She is careful about the environments she places herself in. She doesn't show up just because everyone else is there. Instead of chasing social acceptance, she embraces solitude when needed, allowing herself to reflect and recharge. In this space, she finds clarity, creativity, and peace. She is not avoiding people out of fear or shyness, but because she understands that being alone is not the same as being lonely. Her confidence is not the loud, attention-seeking kind, but a quiet, unwavering self-assurance that does not need validation. She doesn't wear makeup not because she is against it, but because she doesn't feel obligated to. While many are taught from a young age that beauty is something to be enhanced, perfected, or even altered, she sees it differently. Her face tells her story as it is, natural, unfiltered, and authentic. She does not need foundation to feel complete, lipstick to feel bold, or eyeliner to feel seen. She believes that her presence, her intelligence, and her personality are more than enough. Her confidence makes others uncomfortable because it is rare. People are used to women apologizing for how they look, constantly adjusting, covering up, or seeking reassurance. But she does none of that. She steps into a room exactly as she is, unafraid of being overlooked, because she knows her value does not depend on someone else's gaze. Some may misunderstand her choices, thinking she lacks effort or care, but the truth is, she simply refuses to conform to expectations that do not serve her. She lives by her own definition of beauty, one that is not dictated by trends or outside approval. She believes that the way she carries herself, the way she speaks, and the way she treats others are far more important than any cosmetic enhancement. Her self-worth is not in a mirror, but in her mind, her actions, and her authenticity. She is proof that confidence is not about how you look, but how you live. She understands that energy is a currency, and she spends it wisely. While the world glorifies being busy, constantly surrounded by people, and always engaged in conversation, she knows that not every interaction adds value to her life. She is selective with her presence, aware that some social situations leave her feeling drained rather than fulfilled. It's not about disliking people, but about preserving her mental and emotional well-being. She has seen how easy it is to become consumed by unnecessary engagements, conversations filled with gossip, meaningless small talk, and forced interactions that leave no lasting impact. She refuses to pour herself into these spaces, choosing instead to channel her energy into things that truly matter, If that means stepping away from a crowded room to recharge, she does so without guilt. She knows that solitude is not isolation, it is a form of self-care, a space where she can reflect, reset, and return stronger. While some might interpret her quiet nature as indifference, they fail to see the depth of her awareness. She absorbs more than she speaks, choosing her words carefully and ensuring that when she does engage, it is with purpose. She is not the type to engage in every debate or be part of every social circle just to feel included. She values her own peace over the pressure to always be present. This sense of self-awareness is rooted in something deeper, a strong identity that does not waver based on others' expectations. She does not need constant affirmation or validation because she is secure in who she is. Her sense of self is not shaped by trends, opinions, or external pressure. She is not trying to fit in, nor is she seeking approval. She moves through life with a quiet confidence, aware that she does not need to explain or justify her choices. She has spent time understanding herself, her values, her beliefs, and her boundaries. She does not engage in performative behaviors just to be liked. She does not shape-shift to please a crowd. Whether she is in a room full of people or standing alone, she remains the same. She is not afraid of being misunderstood, because she knows that those who truly see her will understand her without explanation. Her independence is not a defense mechanism, it is a deliberate choice. She refuses to be defined by labels, expectations, or societal pressures that tell her who she should be. She understands that real confidence is not about projecting an image, but about being completely at ease with oneself. She doesn't chase trends, approval, or attention, because she does not need them to feel whole. She does not live her life seeking to impress. She lives it seeking truth, depth, and authenticity. She is not easily swayed, not because she is stubborn, but because she is sure. The world may try to categorize her, but she does not fit into a mold. She is who she is unapologetically, and that is enough. She exists in a world that constantly tells women how to be, how to look, how to act, how to socialize. But she refuses to be confined by these expectations. She does not feel the need to fit into the narrative that says a woman must be outgoing, constantly engaging, or meticulously polished to be valued. Instead, she challenges the norms by simply being herself, unapologetically. Her quiet resistance is not loud, but it is powerful. She knows that society has long equated femininity with presentation and social charm, as if a woman's worth is measured by how well she blends into a predetermined role. But she refuses to perform for approval. She does not adjust her voice to sound softer or her demeanor to seem more approachable just because that is what is accepted. She does not wear makeup to be accepted, nor does she engage in social events just to maintain appearances. She makes choices based on what feels right for her, not what others demand. And this in itself is an act of defiance. It unsettles people. The idea that a woman does not seek external validation, does not alter herself to fit the mold, disrupts the way people are used to seeing women. It forces them to confront the reality that confidence does not always come in the form of a perfectly curated image or an effortless charm in conversation. Sometimes, confidence is quiet. Sometimes, it looks like a woman who walks into a room as she is, unaffected by the pressure to be anything else. Because of this, she is often misjudged. People assume she is distant, uninterested, or even cold. They mistake her self-assurance for arrogance, her independence for detachment. They believe she is lesser because she does not seek attention, because she does not present herself in a way that demands validation. But they fail to see the truth. She is not lesser at all. She is simply different. She is the woman who chooses depth over display, authenticity over acceptance. She is not concerned with standing out in a superficial way, but she stands firm in who she is. She does not need the world to approve of her choices because she is already approved of herself. That is something far more powerful than any external praise could offer. She does not move through life seeking to impress, nor does she feel the need to conform. She exists as proof that strength does not always need to be loud and that confidence does not always need to be displayed. She is not interested in playing a role. She is interested in living truthfully. She may not be the woman the world expects, but she is exactly the woman she is meant to be. And while some may never understand her, those who do will see her for what she truly is, not lesser, but whole, strong, and entirely herself.